I got this really interesting question that may apply to you as well. That was my 24-month-old child, so just turned 2, sees me having a morning cookie with my tea or coffee, and they've started asking for it. Do you have a vice? I don't want to call it a vice. Do you have a vice like this as well? I do, and I actually have my morning tea with me, and this is the chocolate that I love to eat with my tea in the morning. And so it's very relevant to me, and I thought I have to make a video about this as to how you can handle it, which is what this parent was asking about. Do I give them a cookie too? How does it work? And the answer is it really depends on your child, and let me explain that. So some children have been conditioned to want dessert-like foods or chocolate cookies and things because they've been restricted. And if you have a child where you have restricted them, like you can only have one of these pieces of chocolate, and then they keep asking for more and you keep telling them no, that makes them want it even more. So the way you would handle that situation is going to be different than if you have a child that hasn't been conditioned in this way. And so you have a couple of ways to approach this. You're not obligated at any time to give your child a cookie just because you're having one. You as the parent can say, oh, you know what, breakfast is finished, I am having this cookie now. Maybe you feel like you're okay with giving them a bite. Fine choice. And maybe you feel like, you know what, you just brushed your teeth and I haven't quite gotten to that point yet, you can have a cookie later. Or you know what, tomorrow morning when I have mine, I'll make sure I get one out for you as well. They may not even notice it. My kids personally, they see me eating a piece of chocolate with my tea. Sometimes they ask and sometimes they don't. And personally, my kids have not been conditioned. Sweets have never been restricted from them in any way. And so they're just not a big deal. So depending where you're coming from, the way you attack this is going to be a little bit different. And this is something that I go into in a lot more detail, a deep dive in my Stress-Free Sweets and Eats course, where I go into the specific situations of, okay, my child has been restricted in the past and they are very fixated on sweets. What do I do about that? How do you handle that? How often are you serving sweets? How are you talking about them? What are you calling them? How do you handle seconds, thirds, fifths, tenths of this? And that's going to look really different than if you have a child who's 2 years old who likely doesn't understand the restriction aspect yet because they probably haven't really been exposed to them. So these approaches are really different, and you can tackle this. It's not too late. Even if you have a child who's 8 or 9, I have a couple of clients that have 10-year-old kids right now, and they are working on reversing what the conditioning has been of you're not allowed to have these foods, I don't give them to you, and the child is really fixated on them. So it's not too late to make changes, and I've had hundreds of parents take my courses and see vast improvements and feel much less stressed and much more confident at being able to set boundaries and say, you know, it's not on the menu, and then come up with a plan for when it is on the menu. Working with your child in situations like this is essential, and putting yourself in your child's shoes. I really help you get into your child's head so that you can, when you're speaking to them, feel really confident in, okay, we are working together. I'm not just telling you no for no reason. And that will boost your confidence, knowing what to say. Inside the course, there's fridge-friendly handouts of scripts and phrases to say to your child when they ask you for snacks all day long, or they ask you for chocolate all day long, what you can say and how to get past that so that it doesn't continue to become a thing and they continue to fixate on it. I'll put the link for that in the description. Check it out and watch the free video. If you have other questions, or if you've used something like this and it has worked for you, drop a comment below. These are very inspirational for parents. If you've tried this method and you've had success with it, drop a comment below so that other people can feel inspired, because it can feel like, oh, we're the only ones this is happening to, or oh, it's hopeless, so I feel defeated, I don't know what I'm doing. But I get DMs every day from parents who say, I tried this, I finally took the leap and it worked. Or I tried it, it's been a couple of weeks and it's working, and it's wonderful to see this. So drop your comments below and share a situation where this has worked for you. And if you're having trouble still, that's okay. These things can take time, but they go a lot faster and with a lot less stress when you know what you're doing and you have a plan. And that's where my Stress-Free Sweets and Eats course will help you. So the link for that is in the description, and I will see you in another video. This is Thalia, the dietitian. Bye. I've got lots of videos for you to check out about label reading to help you bring better food home with you.